Hello Acorns and welcome to Monday's Maths. What we're going to do today is look at the formal written method for division, okay? So we have used different methods in division in maths before. The method we're using today is the bus stop method, which we have practiced, okay? And today we're going to secure our understanding of the method. So we're going to be looking at word problems, and from the word problems we need to pull out the key information to then divide to get our answer, okay? So you need to make sure you read the word problem very carefully to ensure you pull out the key information. So here it says 36 penguins need to be put into 3 pools. How many will go in each pool? So we need to find out how many penguins will be in each of the pools. There's 3 pools altogether, so we need to divide 36 by 3. So our first step, because we're dividing by 3, we write the key facts for our 3 times table. The key facts we're going to write for this number is 1 times, 2 times, 5 times and 10 times, okay? Because what we then do is we use this to take chunks away from our whole number that we're dividing by, okay? So here are our key facts: 1 times 3, 2 times 3, 5 times 3 and 10 times 3, okay? So after that, our next step is to draw the bus stop method, okay? Inside the bus stop, you put your bigger number, so the number you're dividing, and then on the outside, you put the number that you're dividing by, okay? Then your next step after that is to look here at your key facts, looking down this part, so down this section, and looking at which chunk you can take away. So what you want to do is take away the biggest chunk from the number in the bus stop, okay? You don't want to go higher, okay? But you take away the closest number you can. So the closest number we can take away is 30. So what we would do is take away 30, and because that is 10 times the amount we're dividing by, we put 10 in brackets. So I'll just show you here. So we would set it out like that, okay? So 36 minus 30, because that's a chunk we're taking away from our key facts. In brackets, we're putting the 10 because that's 10 lots of 3. If we do that, we are going to be left with 6, okay? We then look here at what chunk we can take away from 6. We can actually take away a chunk of 6, which is 2 lots of 3. So we will put in brackets 2. So then we do 6 minus 6, which leaves us with 0. So that means there is no more dividing or chunking to do, okay? The last step is to add up the numbers that are in brackets. We need to add 10, add 2, which would give us the answer of 12. So our answer is 12. So 12 penguins would be put into each pool, okay? Right, let's look at another example. So we're going to do the same method again, the bus stop method. Okay, let's read our word problem. There are 845 Anglo-Saxons living in 7 villages. How many live in each village? Okay, so between the 7 villages, there are 845. So we need to divide 845 by 7. So because we're dividing by 7, we do our key facts for our 7 times table. Because we're working with a larger number here, I've actually done key facts for 1 times, 2 times, 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 50 times and 100 times, just to make my bus stop method easier, and then I can take away bigger chunks to get my answer sooner, okay? So remember, down this side is the chunk that we take away. Down this side is the number that we put in the brackets, okay? Because that's how many times we've timed the number to get the answer, okay? So then you've done your key facts. You then do your bus stop method. So inside is the big number that we're dividing. On the outside is the number you're dividing by, okay? So again, we take away the biggest chunks. If you look down here, the biggest chunk we can take away that's closest to 845 is 700. So if we take away 700, we're going to put 100 in brackets because that's how many lots of 7 it is. So if we take that away, we are going to be left with 145. Okay, so look at your key facts again. What chunk can we take away from 145? We can actually take away 140, which means we need to put 20 in brackets, okay? So let's take away 140 and put the 20 in brackets. We'll minus that, and that has left us with 5, okay? 5 is actually less than the number we're dividing by, so we can't divide any further. So what I've done is I've circled that number because that reminds me that that is my remainder. I can't do any more chunking, okay? So my answer is the number in brackets, remainder, the number I have circled. So my answer would be 120, remainder 5, and that is how you would write it. So remember, if you chunk and you get to a number that is less than what you're dividing by, that is a remainder, okay? Right, let's look at one more example. There are 484 children in the school. They need to be split into 8 groups. How many children will there be in each group? So we're going to have 8 groups altogether, and we need to know how many will be in each group. So we need to divide 484 by 8, okay? So key facts again here. And if you look down here is the amount. So that is the number I would chunk and take away. This number is the number I would put in the brackets because that's how many times I've times the number by, okay? So remember, chunk, brackets, okay? So let's do that. Looking at our key facts, again, I've gone above 10 times just because my number I'm working with is bigger. The biggest chunk I can take away is 400, which if you look, 400 is the chunk, 50 is the number I'm going to put in the brackets, okay? So if I take away 400 from 484, it is going to leave me with 84. Again, looking at your key facts, what can I use there? Well, I've got 80. That is very close to 84. I've got 160, but that is a lot more. So 80 is the closest I can take away. So I'm going to take away a chunk of 80 and put 10 in brackets, okay? So it should look like that. So if I do that, that is going to leave me with 4. But again, this is a remainder because 4 is less than the number I'm dividing by. Therefore, I've circled it, which it just gives me a little reminder that that is my remainder, okay? So my answer is the number in the brackets with a remainder of 4. So 50 add 10 is 60, remainder 4. So my answer would be 60, remainder 4. So the children can't actually go in groups of the same number, okay? But there'll be 60 in every group and there'll be a remainder of 4 that they will then have to share out, okay? So that is what you're doing today. Remember to follow the steps, okay? So first step, read your word problem, okay? Pull out the key information. You then need to do the key facts for the number you're dividing by, okay? Then you draw your bus stop method. Inside your bus stop is the number you're dividing, and then outside your bus stop is the number you're dividing by. You then take away chunks. You put the number, the amount it has been times by in brackets. You then continue chunking, okay? At the end of it, when you can't chunk anymore, you count your numbers up in the brackets to get your answer. If you've got a remainder, you need to put R and the remainder that you have got, okay?